From Grosvenor, New York, the training base of the heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano, this is Jim Leamy. And with me, we have the champ and his manager, Mr. Al Weil. First of all, let's talk to Rocky and let's say hello, first of all.
Hello, Jim.
Now, Rocky, one thing that's always impressed me, and I'm quite sure that's impressed everyone who has ever met you, is the fact that, first of all, he's a gentleman and certainly a man that you would never expect to be as brutal as he is in the ring. Now, I'd like to ask you, what happens when you get into that ring, Rocky?
Well, that bell sounds, Jim, it's a different story in there. It's that man trying to take that title away and myself trying to hold it.
What I'm about to share now is a chapter from the Holy Bible of boxing. This chapter comes straight from Rocky Marciano's book of boxing and bodybuilding. Whether you're a beginner or a professional, Marciano dives into the common mistakes both rookies and experienced fighters make, offering timeless insights for everyone. By common sense boxing, we mean boxing that is intended for the average boy, the boy who would like to be able to handle himself well according to the basic rules of the sport. It is not intended for those who wish to take boxing seriously, but even those who intend to make boxing their careers should find this treatment helpful. The facts presented here are basic. They form the foundation for professional as well as amateur boxing. Most ring injuries and fatalities are brought on by the fact that one of the contestants is not in good shape. A boxer should not step into a ring unless he is in the proper physical condition. He should concentrate his training at such times on shadow boxing, practicing punches, bag punching, and minor training activities. There is no body contact involved in this kind of training. Therefore, there's little chance of injury. The same rules we set for bodybuilding apply to boxing. Do not attempt anything you are not ready for, and do not force yourself to continue when exhausted. Boxing demands top condition at all times. Other sports may have timeout periods, but there are none in boxing. No two boys can be taught exactly the same way. Everyone's bone and body structure is different. Every boy has his own way of running, jumping, and punching. Many a fine prospect has been ruined by an inept coach or trainer who tried to force his pupil to copy his or someone else's style. Boxing, like most sports, demands a great deal of effort and practice. A conscientious student learns as time goes by. Top-notch trainers will admit that, given a pupil who has promise combined with a natural inclination to learn, it will still take from 3 to 5 years to make a good fighter of him. Choosing a trainer is an important step. Good ones are hard to find. The fact that a fellow was once a boxer does not necessarily qualify him as a trainer. He may have been a poor competitor who did everything wrong. You wouldn't want him to pass his knowledge on to you. A poor teacher will develop bad habits in you that will be hard to break. In the long run, these habits may cost you your career. If you're looking for a good trainer, go to the better gyms. Don't put your faith in a one-man coaching staff such as those usually found in small athletic clubs. If you know of a trainer and he has several good boxers, the chances are that he knows his business. If he has only one boxer who has received recognition, there is a chance that the fighter may have developed in spite of, rather than because of, his teacher. Be careful to check thoroughly. Proper stance is also very important in the art of self-defense. The stance of a beginner will be vastly different from that of an advanced student or pro. Beginners are all started with the same basic stance, what trainers call a pose position. This is done to give them proper balance. The hands and arms are arranged to give maximum protection for the limited amount of defense knowledge a novice possesses, while at the same time giving him maximum offensive positioning. As a pupil advances, he finds out for himself, with the help of his trainer, better and more natural positions from which he can both attack and defend. Charlie Goldman reduced the distance between Rocky Marciano's feet from 36 to 24 inches by joining his ankles with a piece of rope when he was shadowboxing. Before that, his right foot was so far back that he was never in position to throw a second punch. You can't judge an advanced boxer's stance by how close it is to pose position. Some pros appear to be doing everything wrong. They practically fight with their hands down. This may give the impression that these fighters are wide open, but with proper footwork, timing, and experience, the unorthodox or unnatural boxer can avoid a good deal of punishment while he draws an unwary opponent in, keeps him off balance, and counterpunches him with unerring accuracy.
And this is the method, for example, Rocky would use. He tended to give a less than factual a performance of defense. Actually, Rocky was never hit as solidly as people thought. Rocky Marciano was never hit as solidly as people thought. Very seldom.
It takes years to develop this kind of ability, however. A beginner must start with the pose position. It will be wise to learn it thoroughly since it is the foundation of any boxing course. The pose position. In boxing, we must start with our feet. This is known as footwork. The feet should be 18 inches to 24 inches apart, depending on your height. The big toe of the left foot should point slightly to the right. The left foot should be forward, the right foot back. You should stand fairly straight with the weight of the body evenly distributed on the soles of both feet. The knees should be slightly bent, and the entire body should be completely relaxed with no feeling of tenseness whatever. Keep your hands up, elbows touching the hip bones. The left fist should be extended slightly in front of the body about shoulder level. The left shoulder should be hunched and raised slightly higher than the right shoulder to ward off right hand smashes. The right fist should be somewhere near the jaw to protect the face from your opponent's left hand. At the same time, it must be ready to drive straight out if it is needed offensively. Keep the chin down and snuggled into the dimple of your left shoulder, or, to be exact, between the deltoid muscle of the shoulder and the pectoral muscle of the chest. The mouth should be closed and the teeth clamped. The eyes should be open and at all times on the opponent. You must be able to glide along without too much effort. To determine the proper distance of the feet, try weaving and twisting the trunk from the waist up. If you can do this without danger of falling off balance, you can be reasonably sure that you have found the proper distance. Try to move with the grace of a panther. If you want to move forward, slide your left foot up a few inches and then follow the same distance with your right foot. Don't make the mistake of bringing up your left foot and leaving your right foot behind. This will leave you practically dead in your tracks, an easy mark for a crafty adversary who can move and think fast. To move to the left, move the left foot to the left and follow it with the right. Do the opposite to move to the right. To retreat, the right foot goes back first, followed by the left. As you gain more experience, you will change your fundamental pose and develop your own style. When you are boxing a fellow noted for his right hand, move to his left or to your own right to keep away from his Sunday punch. If you find yourself facing a southpaw, move to your left. You handle him exactly opposite to the way you handle an orthodox or right-handed opponent. The boxing style usually depends on the build or physique of the individual. The first style is designed for the tall, rangy, or lanky individual. He depends on speed and agility to outpoint his opponent. This type usually moves around, jabs a lot, and generally outmaneuvers his adversary. He may also develop terrific punching power because of the leverage of his long arms. The other style is adaptable to the short, squat, or stocky boy who depends mostly on power and infighting to capture his decisions. He must be clever at bobbing and weaving. He must keep his hands close to his face to prevent counterpunching. He has to stay inside or close to his opponent. He is at a disadvantage because of his short arms, and very rarely is he able to box at long range against a long-armed adversary. And mistakes to avoid when you throw a left one, your right hand up for defensive purposes. The reverse holds true when you throw a right. A common mistake of novices is to drop one hand when throwing the other. Watch yourself in the mirror to make sure you do not commit these errors. There should be no hopping or jumping in the ring. Some people mistakenly refer to these movements as footwork. Jerky movements only tend to tire you and keep you off balance. When you are hopping, you cannot get set to send in a hard, fast punch. Your movements should be as smooth as possible, like waltzing. Relax while you look for an opening, but stay alert. Just before you throw a punch, tighten up slightly with your arms. This will make the blow solid. So that's it for this video. Everything I shared here comes directly from Rocky Marciano's wisdom. If you found this interesting and want more, let me know in the comments for a part 2. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.